Well, good evening, everyone. Derek Wark, the Big D, and welcome back again. CPHS Channel 6, Memorial Stadium, the destination yet again tonight. Grosse Pointe South Blue Devils come into town to face your Port Huron Northern Huskies this evening. And in the Blue Devils, we have the favorites to win the MAC Blue. They are loaded with talent. They're very deep. For PHN, it's going to be a tough evening, but a few things are for sure. One thing, Alex Johnsmore, brand new quarterback at Northern, he looks very solid. When we want more, we look to Johnsmore, definitely. Passing last game, running, he was very, very spectacular. So that's certainly a key in this game. Can Johnsmore fight off some great big linemen for Grosse Pointe South and the Blue Devils? Keep in mind, too, speaking of quarterbacks, Ben Fry, the Blue Devils, excellent rated quarterback, another dual threat player. That's going to be huge in this game. Can the Huskies get to him? So there you have it. 1-0 Port Huron Northern Huskies, and the Ben Fry-led Grosse Pointe South Blue Devils. 0-1 they lost last week to Detroit. And it should be a good one tonight here from Memorial Stadium. The weather, it's going to be overcast, it's going to be wet. We'll see if that plays a factor. That should favor the Huskies to slow down Grosse Pointe South and their high-powered game. Again, Derek Wark, the Big D, Memorial Stadium, CPHS Channel 6, and we have this game for you next.
Port Huron Northern High School Husky football team.
Going into last week's game, we were unsure about many things when it came to the Port Huron Northern Huskies, and with good reason, or so we thought. As I recalled so often last week, it's been a long time since the Huskies had any kind of success at all. I just see them come out on the field right now. But now, though, things are a bit different. Last week, it's not just an ordinary game. It was a turn-the-corner game, and it's the beginning of the new Port Huron Northern Huskies, indeed, led by one new head coach, Pat Connell, who has the whole city fired up, and one new quarterback, as mentioned, who was the talk of the town this week. Let's face it, Alex Johnsmore. Well, tonight, however, a tougher task than last week. The always tough Grosse Pointe South Blue Devils are in town, defending MAC Blue title. Grosse Pointe South Blue Devils. So certainly if the Huskies want to prove they're indeed for real, this challenge tonight is the first step. Good evening, everyone. Again, Derek Wark, the Big Deal from, well, overcast, we'll say, Memorial Stadium. It's been raining for a great deal of this day, but right now, Mother Nature's being kind to us. Yeah, no rain at the moment, so it should be okay. Field here drains pretty well. I'm kind of, in a way, kind of hoping for rain just because Grosse Pointe South and their high-powered offense, led by, as mentioned, quarterback Ben Fry, kind of slow them down a little bit, the rain, and that might even help out the Huskies. But it's a good running and passing attack, so I'm not sure you can stop Grosse Pointe South. If anyone can, though, this Husky unit might just be one that can, mainly led by their linebackers in Pickering, Corrigan, and also Kenny Sanders. We'll talk about them as the game goes along. Again, very nice crowd on hand on this side anyway. I kind of hold my breath at times because a lot of these people travel from great distances to come in, but Grosse Pointe South, as you would expect, people still coming in on this side, so that's a good thing. And of course, across the way, as you see the Husky bench and some of the players there, a nice crowd for a rainy night, we'll say, because it really did pour earlier. Well, last week, the Huskies, a 23-13 victory. I was very, very impressed over Stony Creek, and really I was impressed with Stony Creek. I thought they came in here and nobody really knew what to expect out of them, the OAA White Division, a team there, and I thought they looked pretty darn good, but it was head coach Pat Connell's first ever victory. I was happy for him. His first ever game, and Northern in that game, the reason they won basically, they had 17 second half points, so we'll talk about that and other things as this game goes along. But first, here's the kickoff, and let's get nasty, Port Huron. That one out of bounds, and it will be a touchback as it goes end to end on the kick return there. Victor Madison, but he didn't touch it. And the Blue Devils will come out again, led by the talented Ben Fry at QB. Again, Grosse Pointe South, no big secret, 7-3 last season, 5-0 in the MAC Blue. Defending MAC Blue champs from a season ago, and this year, already 0-1, actually. They lost last week, so they're going to be hungry. Huskies certainly have to be ready for this one. Biggest strength, they say, their linebacker experience. This Grosse Pointe South team Their defensive line, another strength, and obviously their high-scoring offense. And rushing quarterback right here, number 7, Ben Fry on 1st down and 10 from the 20. Immediate pass in the flat, caught outside. Didn't get very much. That's a good adjustment in the crowd. Lets them hear about a great tackle. They even thought they had the football for a moment there, but Grosse Pointe South, they're saying that they're down over there. That'll bring up 2nd down after a short game and good adjustment by the Huskies and their D. Well, the Blue Devils, of course, coached by Tim Brandon. Here you see the outside game. Look at Darian Hackett over there quickly, and Corrigan really was waiting for him. Downs him quickly, and they say no gain. Huskies, there you see at the end of the play, thought they had it. To no avail, it's 2nd down and 10. Shotgun look this time with 3 wide and 1 back. Fry in the shotgun. They send a man in motion now. That's 5 in motion. Semarusti. The give straight up and hammered down immediately. 99. That's not Wayne Gretzky. Doesn't have to be. Jalen Hayes among tacklers for the Huskies. And that brings up 3rd down. Well, this Blue Devils squad, 100 players apparently tried out for this football team, and the JV squad, 65 more players tried out as freshmen. You talk about depth and great football interest at Grosse Pointe South. They've certainly got it, and they're facing 3rd and long. That is a great job. Of the linebackers waiting in the hole, Corrigan, I think, got him there among tacklers, and basically to just shut him right down from the get-go. 3rd and long, it looks like 3rd and 9 from the 21. Fry again in the patented shotgun look. He's going to pass it this time, looking to the right side. Gets leg pressure from the blind side. Now they're all over him. Fry to the outside. He's got to work for this one. Pushes hard out of bounds, and because he made that tackle, he's not going to have the 1st down. 24. Austin Pickering. And Sanders was over there as well. I guarantee you if Pickering does not push him out of bounds, he gets the 1st down. That's a 1st down saving tackle right there by a strong linebacker in Pickering. Well, apparently the Blue Devils returned roughly half their starters from last season, but their offensive line, from what I read, is completely new. Several players that play both ways, as you'd expect at this level, but again, the favorites to win, the MAC Blue. So far, a great job of the Huskies. They hold. They're going to get the ball here on offense in just a moment. Well, the snap is bobbled, and they drop him right there. Huskies, great field position. Jalen Hayes among tacklers in 56. Chad Patterson. The crowd and the band absolutely love it. This is 1st and 10 from inside the 20. Our Port Huron Northern Huskies come out. Here you see that punt again. Just a bad snap, and they paid for it because right when the punter got the football, he got drilled. And you got to like that Jalen Hayes, number 99, 5'10", 205. Ouch. Johns Moore in the offense now. Number 2 from shotgun. QB keeper, got a great block. Cuts upfield, Johns Moore. Inside the 10 to the 8. Maybe the 9. Great block, by the way, Mark Perez. Around left side that time, number 5. Our Huskies, no big secret, 2-7 overall last season. It's a new life for this football team. 1-0 this year. Of course, this is the first MAC Blue game of the season, MAC Blue Division. The offense led by Alex Johns Moore, number 2. Had a great game last week, trying to repeat that this week as we see 2nd and 4 from the 9. Johns Moore shotgun with 4 wide look. The give immediately ripped down immediately is Mark Perez. 73 with force, Reggie Lewis.
Stopped on a play by number 73, Reggie Lewis.
Well, the Huskies and their main targets, number 12, Macaulay Hill, the main wideout threat, they didn't shy from throwing to him last week, certainly deep as well, and they probably won't be shy to do that again, and really, I would say they have to. Running backs, Darian Hack, number 30, they call him the Debo. Didn't get many carries last week, but when he did, he took over the game. Sanders as well, 20. Kenny Sanders, he'll get the odd carry and the senior role. 3rd down and 9 from the 14. Johns Moore calmly in the pocket. Puts it outside, in and out of the hands of the antenna receiver 10, Quinn Kotsko. But first, a flag thrown right at the line, and we'll see what this is all about. Likely to be on the Huskies. And it is a hold against Port Huron Northern. So what started off as very promising on this drive due to the field position on it, they've kind of stalled a little bit. Tyler Smith, I should also mention, 89, the other big wideout threat. He actually caught a deep fly last week from Johnsmore, so he certainly can't be overlooked in this offense either. Again, CPHS Channel 6, good evening to you, and yours football greetings from Memorial Stadium, Derek Wark, the Big D. It looks like third down to be repeated and a loss of a ton. Third and goal, I think, from the 25-yard line now. Well, they're saying 3rd and 20 from the 25, so they can get a first without scoring, as you see Johnsmore checking back into the huddle here. Well, this entire defensive backfield, apparently, for the Grosse Pointe South team has been replaced from last season. Every one of them new. We'll see what they do here. Johnsmore calmly in the backfield again, airing it out deep, picked off, and the end zone, no, he dropped it first. Robbie Kish in and out of his hands, and really since great starting field position, the Huskies have stalled, and Kish might have been so shocked that the ball was in his hand so easily there that he just didn't catch it. And that sounds funny, but believe me, you can be that shocked that it just kind of ends up in your hands, and just like that, it's in and out. This is a long field goal attempt here. What, from 42 it looks like. Macaulay Hill gonna try it. From 42 yards, it's gonna be close. No. Just not enough leg, but he certainly, as far as straightness of the field goal went, not too bad. Grosse Pointe South holds after the Huskies do. And they dodge a big bullet because the Huskies were inside the 20 to begin that possession, but no can do. Still no score, first quarter, 8:29 to go in it. Derek Wark, the Big D, CPHS Channel 6, Port Huron Area School District television station.
First and 10 Blue Devils from their own 20-yard line.
Again, the Blue Devil offense on the field now, again, led by tremendous quarterback talent, they say, Ben Fry, number 7. 43, Eddie Mollison leads the way at running back. They list him as a big play threat, so not quite yet, though. Top wideout on the team, look for Victor Madison Jr., number 1. Speedy and sure-handed, and he runs a 4.5 40. That certainly helps. Shotgun look here to the outside again, in and out of the hands of the antenna receiver, number 5, Wesley Samarusti again. 49, Stan Scott, the fullback, 6'1", 245 they list him as, so he's certainly a load. And how big a load? Well, he was offered a scholarship apparently to Akron, Ohio, but is not committed yet from what I understand, so they've got some talent. 89, the tight end, Marty Moesta, and the top offensive lineman, the big meat eater up front, number 73, Reggie Lewis, whom we've already heard from on defense for Grosse Pointe South. 2nd and 10 now from the 20. 8 and 26 ticks to go in the second. Check that the first. Second down, I should say. Straight up, straight down. Good pursuit again by the Huskies, who might be sending an early message that they're going to try and make Ben Fry beat him through the air. Pickering among tackles again for the Huskies. That'll bring up 3rd and long again. So far, neither team has really moved the ball real well, kind of feeling each other out thus far. But already, all signs indicate that Coach Connell, Pat Connell of the Huskies, is just doing a superior job. Because this is, for all intents and purposes, talent-wise, and senior leadership's the same group they had here last year. And it is not a 2-7 team right now, I'll tell you that. 3rd and 8 from the 22. Fry from shotgun. Good pressure. They almost get him, almost trip him up. He stays on his feet, but again, the late pressure downs him as Kenny Sanders says, thank you very much. The sack. Northern's D on the prowl again. He didn't even have time to even throw that football, really. As you see here, good initial pursuit. They were coming on the blitz. You can see that up the middle and the outside. Oh, that's just a great move to get by the defender. Look at that. Or the blocker, I should say. 6 just missed him. Called it Reno, but a great pickup there by Sanders after Reno missed him. And that play might not even happen without Reno slowing down the momentum. The punt here steps up at the 10. Good Grosse Pointe South bounce to the 45 and Northern. That's where they're going to get it. For all intents and purposes, pretty good field position again, but certainly not like their first drive where they started again inside the 20 and failed to score. So we'll see what they do with pretty decent field position again this time. Really, again, despite great field position and a missed field goal, not really a lot of action there on the first drive. Again, Grosse Pointe South is enormous up front. We'll talk about that as the game continues to go along. And when I say big, some of these guys are really big, as Northern, you see, calls timeout. Again, to echo what I was saying a little bit earlier on, the entire defensive backfield for Grosse Pointe South has been replaced by this team from last year. Every one of them are from an undefeated. Keep that in mind as well with all the depth this team has. An undefeated JV squad from a season ago. Defense led by their defensive line. Defensive end 49, Stan Scott. One of the better players in the MAC Blue period, they say. I mentioned him as a fullback a minute ago. Also up front, nose guard Bernard James, 99, and Reggie Lewis, 73. Lewis and James together, 590. When I said big, I meant it. Probably over 600 by the looks of things, but also together, they pack a punch. Another great player, linebacker Will Reeves, 39. Reeves, a 3-year starter who led the team in tackles the last 2 years for Grosse Pointe South. Coming out of the timeout, and now we see the Husky fans trying to get their offense motivated here. Slow to start, and I said this last week, it's going to take this offense a while to really get moving consistently. Debo checked into the game. Number 30. Darian Hack got 3, maybe 4. I really liked when Hack came into the game last week because once he started running the ball, he made some cutback moves and I thought really took over the game at one point because offensively he had those moves. And then defensively, he had a big interception almost, 5 minutes later. So there was a time where this was Hack's game last week. They say 3 on that gain, 2nd down and 7 now. Again, the run and shoot look, and I love it. Grosse Pointe South, a blitz. It's picked up by Hack. Johnsmore to the outside. QB keeper gets a first down and look out a whole lot more. Johnsmore tripped up, and they just hold on for dear life as 5. Simarusti got him, but not before. 15 plus, and look out, we have a late flag. Well, he did this last week. Whenever there was a notch in the defense, he just took off and ran the ball with it. And I believe the leading rusher for Northern last week, although I think, as mentioned, the way that Hack was running the ball, had they continued to do that, I think he would have been the leading rusher because he was, 8 yards a carry, I think. Well, Grosse Pointe South fans clapping, and it is against the Huskies, so the only question is, do they get the first down first? And they won't. Block in the back, they're saying. That flag came late, right around where the tackle was made, so that's going to set the Huskies back. And really a backbreaker when you consider the fact that they haven't done much offensively. There's their first big play, and it's called back, and they look like spotted the foul here. That's going to be 2nd down and short. Again, Alex Johnsmore, the big story last week. He ran for a TD and threw 2 touchdowns to Macaulay Hill. One 14 yards and one for 16. Here he goes again, 2nd and short. I would watch Macaulay Hill right here, right now. It's good time for it on 2nd and 2. Grosse Pointe South shows blitz. Instead, Johnsmore, the keeper, the other way, gets a good lead block from Debo. Cuts up field, beautiful gain, maybe 10, maybe 12. Debo, first down. Well, there's good blocking all over the place. Perez has had some licks already up there. As Hack now checking out, there you see the clock, 5:28 to go in the first. Still no score from Memorial Stadium. There you see the cheerleaders. I believe that's Grosse Pointe South's cheerleaders, but here we go again from the 36, 1st and 10. 3 wideouts on the near side. One of them's going to get one. Mark Perez, they try the wideout screen look. Tries to cut it up. Got maybe 3 if he's lucky. Among tacklers over there, 23, Jeff Blezoff. And we have a hurt player down on the field. And so, 4:58 to go officially. First quarter of play. No score from Memorial Stadium. Grosse Pointe South, the MAC Blue favorites this season and defending MAC Blue champions against our Port Huron Northern Huskies. CPHS, Channel 6, Port Huron Area School District television station. Well, I don't have a number yet. That's obviously a Grosse Pointe player, and certainly all the best to him. That's his helmet. There you see, underneath the legs there, the trainers. Nice to see, too, the Husky trainer comes out there just as fast, if not quicker, than the GPS, Grosse Pointe South trainer, so. Johns Moore last week, again, to get back to it. Again, the 23-13 win over Stony Creek, the Huskies last week. 9 for 21, 125 yards and 1 interception for Johns Moore. He also rushed 21 carries, 60 yards. And he credited the offensive line for the Husky win last week, so certainly Johns Moore's saying all the right things in that area. But I really thought for the first start ever for him, and knowing going into the year that Matt Davis was going to be the starting quarterback, I thought he did a whale of a job because he looks so calm and cool back there in the pocket. He doesn't really move around much. He kind of stands there flat-footed, but hey, if it works for him and he's calm back there, really, who cares? Again, Macaulay Hill, 2 TD catches in that game. A minute 16 apart were those 2 touchdown catches in the third quarter. He dropped one, and he wasn't very happy about it, and it could have been a touchdown maybe early in the game last week, but later he claimed it will never happen again. Mark my words, he said, never. I love that attitude. That's great, but Macaulay Hill certainly 2 TDs last week, and he made up for it. And it was nice to see last week as well, and well, we see the injury here still. We hope it's nothing serious. Nice to see, though, Pat Connell, the head coach, you know, get the win, his inaugural game, his first ever victory, and to watch him get dumped by the water cooler last week. I don't know what was in that thing. Was it water? Was it Gatorade? Was it, well, I hope it wasn't soda, because that'd make for a sticky mess, but. And it was funny because he saw it coming last week. He's on the field right now, blue shirt and tie, and the brown pants, but certainly a more serious issue on the field right now has a Grosse Pointe South player down, and Pat Connell very concerned too. But he saw that Gatorade, if you will, or water cooler coming last week, and he was on the field at the time coming off the timeout, and he was kind of like, uh-oh, it's coming. I'll just let it come and get me. And he tried to duck out of the way. Apparently his ducking skills not the greatest. 2 Huskies nailed him with it, but that's the sign of a big win for a coach that, you know, it wasn't for the playoffs or the division or anything like that, but when it's the first ever game for the coach and he gets dumped, you know it has to feel special. Not getting dumped, but the win itself, so. Here you see the stretcher, and this might be serious, so we'll certainly keep our fingers crossed for this Grosse Pointe South player. I still don't really have a number down there, and he got up from the bottom of the pile, I think. I don't know if we have a replay for that and the injury, but he was at the bottom, and they say strange things happen at the bottom of those piles, and I don't know how more people don't get injured in them. Not just this level either, but certainly all over the place. Again, it's Derek Work, the Big D, week 2 But yet game 3, as they've been doubling up this season for some reason. No double ups this week. Port Huron on the road. And they're in Sterling Heights, and that is not going to be an easy game for the Big Reds, coming off the loss last week at 0-1. So, speaking of crossing our fingers, we will be for the Big Reds. That Sterling Heights team, last year, a good offensive team in the MAC Blues. So, that is not a pushover game for the Big Reds, and they're going to be hungry after losing last week. So, there you see some definite concern across the field from us, even the Husky fans over there. Not a real good sign when they get the stretcher off. When you see this sort of thing, you hope simply precaution. And they will do that. They will get the stretcher for precaution, especially at this level. But football has really changed in the injury sense, where any kind of head blow now, or any kind of threat of them not moving at all, or even a neck injury, they'll get a stretcher and they won't even think twice about it. So there you see the Huskies and the players down on one knee, and, well, cross your fingers, toes, and whatever else you can cross, I guess, for this Blue Devil here. With the break in the action, again, reminder, 4:58 to go in the first when play does resume, and no score from Memorial Stadium. Again, it rained all day long here, but you wouldn't tell by the field. It has drained very, very well. There you see a bit of the field right now, and I'm amazed because everywhere I was driving on the way here, including the bridge, water everywhere, like puddles, and I get here and it's dry field, and actually there might even be a sunset here tonight. So well, they're wrapping him to the stretcher, and certainly you'd like to see some movement. I think we have some, so that's a good sign down there. Hard to see on the angle I'm at, of course, but, and again, I don't know. Was it a case of being bottom of the pile, or trying to make the tackle and just unlucky with the positioning, or whatever it was, but we'll have to wait and see. Again, the Port Huron Area School District television station, CPHS Channel 6, 984-6621, the number to call for continued programming information. Of course, the bulletin board often flashes as kind of a TV guide sometimes and gives you some community event information. CPHS Channel 6, all request day, keep in mind Friday. Give them a call, let them know what you want to see, and they'll show it, whatever show you want. If you call up the big fella in the studio, he's the big fella in the truck down there tonight, tell him I want to see more Big D, or tell him I don't want to see any more Big D, well, that's fine. Tell them what show you do want to see, and they'll rebroadcast on Fridays. I'll request Fridays. CPHS Channel 6. Well, the crowd chanting, the player now, the injured player, has gotten up, and that's a good sign. And almost on cue, right when he got up, the clouds parted and the sun out really for the first time. So, like I said, there's going to be a sunset after all the rain. And there you see the two coaches talking. Pat Connell, the Northern head coach. And, of course, the other side, Blue Devils, their head coach, Tim Brandon. There you see the big Husky marching band. And those look like new band uniforms this season, too. Certainly new helmets for the Huskies this year. They've got their numbers on them from the past, which, besides the odd Husky symbol, it's had the N before. It's had numbers before. And it's been plain before, too, so. Anyway, we're about to resume play, or close to it now, coming off the injury. And on Johns Moore in his great game last week, and although his numbers weren't, fall off the board ridiculous, he clearly performed when he had to and just plain got the job done at really a better rate than Alex Jones did for Stony Creek. That's really what I think the game came down to the most, is the quarterback play, and Johns Moore picking it up quick and getting the job done. But on that game last week for Johns Moore, Coach Connell claimed, I think the first half, he, of course talking about Johns Moore, was trying to prove himself, and he did. And I thought he did a great job. So often, rookie quarterbacks, and despite him being a senior, I call him a rookie quarterback because, you know, obviously his first game ever at the position at this level last year. Apparently he played quarterback in grade 9 when he was a, freshman for the JV squad. His first game ever was great last week. Some of the numbers from that game, last week's victory. Again, 23-13 over Stony Creek. Rushing, 19 for 109 for Northern. As a team, not the greatest total, but as a defensive unit stopping the run, they did a great job. The Husky D prowling again, 27 for 71. That's all Stony Creek could muster. Teams now kind of using this injury timeout. It's been probably about, 20, 25 minutes now. They're using it to stretch. Crowd chanting again and really holding their breath for this kid who I didn't even really get his number. There he goes off. They give him a standing ovation and really a classy act. And rightfully so. So there he goes. Maybe we can get that number real quick from the side. Is that 23, 22? There you see on the side of his shoulders. And they're saying it's Brian McAllister now. Number 25. So my best to you, Brian McAllister. Number 25. Leaving on the stretcher. He'll be all right because he's a TG tough guy. That's why. So officials still letting the teams warm up a bit here. There you see Northern top of the screen. Kind of stretching a bit and all the rest. Certainly has given me a chance to open up my big mouth and keep yakking. Some don't like that. Passing last week, 167 for Stony Creek. Johns Moore, as mentioned, he threw for only 125, but again, the one rushing TD, the two passing TDs, and the leading rusher, 21 for 60 was Johns Moore. Darian Hack, though, I should mention, 5 carries, 40 yards, 8 yards a carry. When I first looked at them stats, the first thing I thought of was, why didn't Debo get more carries? Much of that, couple cutback moves, the same moves twice, as it appeared, I think, around left guard twice. Tyler Smith, 3 catches, 65 yards. The leading yardage getter, of course, Macaulay Hill, 2 TDs. He was 3 for 51. Back to the game finally now. Again, our best to Brian McAllister. 2nd and 7 from the 33. Huskies have the football, operating left to right in a moment on your screen. There's Macaulay Hill, as you see. And that right there, Johns Moore from shotgun. Gets it this time. Immediate give, immediately stuffed. 39 waiting. Will Reeves. Darian Hack shut down that time on the end around. And the thing about that handoff, if you have defenders that jump to that side quick, then you're just another defender in the offensive backfield to give them a loss of yards. And that was a loss of, 5, 6 maybe? 3rd and 13 is what it's going to be from the 39-yard line. Huskies have had good field position. Ever since they started the game with, or at least their first drive of the game inside the 20, haven't scored, but it's not been a case of special teams. Johns Moore to throw, outside, caught Perez. They say incomplete. Did it hit the ground first? That's the question. Wide open, and Johns Moore's first priority there was to get that ball over the huge defender on the left side, right at the line, who tried to bat that down. And that's often overlooked from fans just simply watching the game, is how high you've got to throw the ball first and foremost, especially tonight with some of these big, tall defenders of Grosse Pointe South. You've got to get it high before you get it far. Punt standing 48-yard line. Punting this one off, Mark Perez. And he's a good punter, so we'll see. That one is going to be returned by one Victor Madison. Tries to stiff arm, gets hammered to the outside to the 15. And up it looks like close to the, well, they say the 14, so there you go. And Grosse Pointe South, after really playing strong defensively for this whole quarter, is bringing their offense back out against a defense in the Huskies that have played really well defensively in their own right so far. So certainly a battle of the defenses so far. Kind of shocking to me, I think, for the most part, how well the Husky D has played thus far and how a highly rated Grosse Pointe South offense is not moving the ball yet. Credit the linebacking core of the Huskies, who we're going to talk about in just a moment. Fry, the QB keeper, snap behind guard and tackle, got not much. Is that Jalen Hayes, bottom of the pile again? Jalen, don't call me Wayne Gretzky Hayes. He's got number 99, and he plays like a great one. He really does. He's an aggressive player. I said so last week. Great tackle there, Jalen. Fry got 2 on the carry there, 2nd down and 8. 16-yard line with 3 and 24 ticks to go. First quarter, still no score. Grosse Pointe South and your Huskies. Back to pass to the outside. Caught, went down on a knee, and that's why they're calling the whistle dead, or the play dead on the whistle at least, and that'll bring up 3rd down. Not like the pros, unfortunately, at this level where you can be down and get up and run. Doesn't matter if you make the tackle here. And I'm not even sure, actually. This is a good rule to look up. Who do they credit for the tackle when something like that happens? The nearest guy, or do they even give credit for a tackle? There's something I don't know. How about that? I'll have to look that one up. At this level, anyway, I'm talking about, of course. Certainly some different rules than the next couple. 3rd and 5 at the 20. 2.5 to go in the first. Husky crowd getting loud over there for the Husky D. To pass, Corrigan almost gets there, they get a good block. Madison caught, jumped up to get it to the 40 and down to the 40. 3, Mitchell McFedrin couldn't get over there soon enough, and it's a 1st down for the Blue Devils. Well, not only was Johns Moore the talk last week, but another thing everybody was talking about, the fabulous play of the Fab 3 at linebacker, Austin Pickering, Kenny Sanders, and Tyler Corrigan. There was actually an article about them, or it was mentioned in the Times-Herald about them as 3 great linebackers and 3 great friends, too. There you see the pass, and when you have a tall wideout like Madison, you may think that's a bad pass because he's going up to get it. It isn't. You have to take advantage of that. And they operate to Madison again, tries a stiff arm again, and McFedrin on the tackle again, but not before. Yet another 1st down, back-to-backers by Madison on the receptions. And that might be something we might need to watch as this game goes along. This Madison, obviously, it's no big secret, a highly rated wideout. How long does Pat Connell over there on the other sidelines want to risk man-to-man coverage on obviously an excellent receiver? Not that they're picking on McFedrin, he's got good size, but this Madison has good talent. From the 45, 1st and 10, minute 35 to go in the first. Was it a play fake? Instead, they give to Mollison. Gang tackled by a whole horde of Huskies. Pick one. You got one. 56 among them. Chad Patterson.
Right now, number 56, Chad Patterson.
Well, they're 3 good friends, obviously, and Pickering, Corrigan apparently have played football together since the 5th grade, as I read. Sanders has played with them since the 9th grade, of course, and Sanders and Pickering, although Sanders started his football career later, Sanders and Pickering grew up together, so it's a good linebacker core, it's a close one, and that's certainly easier to play next to your friends because you trust them more, you have faith in each other, and certainly as a core, as a defensive unit, you can tell the Huskies Excellent man-to-man. Grosse Pointe still starting to move the ball a little bit here, though. 2nd and 9, 44. Fry, the keeper. Good booming hit initially. 6 got him. Calder Reno. And that brings up 3rd down. And Hayes again. Reno stepped up there and hit him hard, and then waited for tackling help after the hit. Huge play right now for the Husky D, because this talented Grosse Pointe South team has started to pick up momentum offensively. This play needs to happen to shut them down for Northern. In a battle of defenses so far in this game, the edge goes to Grosse Pointe South because they're moving the football. Corrigan blitz, but picked up. Cuts upfield, that's the tight end, and a big tight end at that. Inside the 20. 89, Marty Moesta. And look at the size of him. I don't have height and weight listed here. But he's up well over 6 foot. Tight end. And wide open, nonetheless. Across the middle. Kind of a crossing pattern underneath, and well done, well set up, because so much of the attention for the Huskies right now on the outside with Madison. Back to pass, the pitch. Fry, they're waiting for him. That's a fumble on the field. I think the Huskies have jumped on it, and they have the football. That's a huge turnover if they have it. Jalen Hayes jumps up thinking he has it, and they do. 24, Austin Pickering jumps up with it. When you consider that the Blue Devils have been moving this football, that is enormous. Well, how's that for timing? I'm talking about him. Look at that lick first, though. Darian Hack. Let's see a replay of that again. Darian Hack popped him around right. He was waiting for him off that pitch. Not fooled one bit. Well, that's the end of the first quarter. We're going to see the replay of that one first. Look at Hack. Not picked up. Boom. Woo. And you know what? He makes that hit. Helmet to waist. And he hits the ball with the helmet. That's a great job. And if you saw there, too, the right tackle misses Hack. He's the one who's got to pick him up, and he just went right by him. From Memorial Stadium, very entertaining first quarter of play. Derek Work, the Big D, CPHS Channel 6. Grosse Pointe South, nothing. Your Huskies, nothing. Back in the second when I take a quick breather. And a quick breather it was. Welcome back. CPHS Channel 6. Again, Big D. Being big is a state of mind. Johnsmore with the football now. Cutting up field, looks like behind center. That was a late cut up. And finally, officials blowing the whistle, and they do down him, so not much gained. No score after one complete from Memorial Stadium. And again, kind of a game where the first part of the first quarter, they were feeling each other out a little bit. Now, on the other hand, Grosse Pointe South has started to move the football offensively, and just a huge pop by Darian Hack a moment ago. Really the play of the game thus far for the Huskies, and it's kept them in the game. 0-0. Their offense has not really moved the ball yet, the Huskies, and besides the odd Johnsmore run, one of them came back too, so on a penalty. From the 24, 2nd and 7, Johnsmore shotgun again outside. Mark Perez, good block, Tyler Smith. Perez cuts upfield close to the first down, and I think he's got it. He does. Mark Perez started last season as the quarterback for Northern. Davis came along. Perez partially got hurt, and I don't know what the decision was to move him from quarterback. Davis got in there, and I guess they decided in the end that Perez was just too talented a player to start at quarterback. They wanted him outside as a split end or a tailback or something outside in the flat. There you see there, it took 3 Blue Devils to down him, so He can do a lot for a football team, and you can't ignore him. Well, that play is stuffed right away. Kenny Sanders, when you have nowhere to go, you can't go anywhere. 99, Bernard James. One of those big meat eaters up front, I'll tell you. He's a big guy. And Grosse Pointe South has some. I said it earlier, and I couldn't believe it. I'll say it again. Reggie Lewis and Bernard James, the guy who just made that tackle, together they list them at 590. That's good weight at this level up front. Excellent football players. From the 30, second and 13. Johns Moore, the QB rollout. Airing it out and just throws it away. And look out, almost into a fan. I don't know if he wanted to hit the exit sign over there. I think it's going to be intentional grounding. And the reason for that, it's not a case he didn't get out of the pocket. It's that if they rule it intentional grounding, I think it's just because there wasn't a wide out over there. An uncatchable ball at any rate. Clearly he was throwing it away. And it is. Another costly penalty against the Huskies. Well, you can't call that intentional grounding, saying he's not out of the pocket. So we'll see. Because he was clearly out of it to the right side. Uncatchable ball and no wide out in the midst, I guess. Well, it's turned out to be a great night after it rained earlier. Very hot, very humid again. I thought the rain might cool it down. No can do. It's a hot booth with the big D up here. Goodness. From the 25, third and 18. Big play for the Husky offense. Johns Moore to pass. It's a wobbly one. Macaulay Hill to the outside. Gets a flag on the play and hammered out of bounds. Couldn't even get back to the original line of scrimmage. That's about a 10-yard gain, but a flag first. We'll see. Grosse Pointe South indicating they're going to decline this. Again, the Huskies are going to have to punt by the looks of things. There you see Macaulay Hill, and mark my words, that's a great hit, by the way. Number 5 decked him, Wesley Cimarusti. Mark my words in this game. If the Huskies are going to get anything going offensively, and so far it looks kind of gloomy there, they've got to use Macaulay Hill. He proved last week he can do it. Let me tell you something. If the game keeps going like this, that Husky D is going to get real tired, and they're just not going to win this game. I don't care how good your defensive unit is. You can't be on the field this often. So there's adjustments that have to be made, particularly offensively, at halftime. Victor Madison standing about the 37, the Blue Devils' own 37. Here's Perez punting the ball. Madison from the 42. Huskies, look out here. Madison avoiding tackle. That is an excellent open field job by 70, Tyler Fadel. 6'2", 235-pounder, Tyler Fadel. Well, that's just, you couldn't draw it up any better for a special teams tackle than that. Flag on the play, by the way. We'll see what this is all about. And is it on the Huskies again? Here you see another good punt by Perez. Good job by Madison. A stiff arm right there. But look at this play. Out of nowhere, they didn't block him, and he just eats him. That right there is what I call let's get Husky. Number 70, Tyler Fadel. That's a great job. Speaking of great jobs, and it's not raining right now, but he took no chances there. Channel 6 cameraman up there. That's the slow-mo cam guy, the bloodhound, Chris Orell. He takes no chances on these possible rainy days, and they don't want their precious camera in the dust. First and 10 for the 46, airing it out deep to Madison, in and out of his hands. That's a catchable ball, I hate to tell you. That's in and out of their best receiver's hands, and that's got to be caught, really. And if nothing else, Mitch McFedrin, who has probably the toughest single task on the field tonight of guarding this guy, he's got his arm out, and that might just be enough to mess up Madison's concentration. But I'll tell you, that was just overthrown, and the Huskies are lucky. They've got to get off man-to-man coverage, or it's going to be a long night. It really is. They've got to get safety help over there, or Madison will eat them. From the 46, 2nd and 10, play action fake. Now to the outside is Fry. Flags all over the place. 1, 2, 3. And eventually the tackle made right side, 28, Benjamin Hayes. Usually when you see flags all over the place, it's on the offense when it's right at the line. Happy early Labor Day, by the way, I should say, to all of you watching tonight. The people that work hard and sleep lots. Tribute to you. Labor Day, there you go. And I'm going up to the cottage this Labor Day, so I'm all pumped up about that. Going to see the Michigan game Saturday. I'm all pumped up about that, too. A big thanks to the big fella in the truck there, E.J. Shea, too, for getting me the Michigan tickets. And he charged me for them, but we'll let that go. He bought me pizza last week, so we'll let that go. He's all worried I was going to write him a check. Nah, I got him the cash. It's all good. That's a great tackle. It's a hold, by the way, at the line. And then a personal foul, Huskies. And they decline them both. So there you go. I didn't see the personal foul for the Huskies. But both fouls had to have occurred in the same area because the flags were all thrown right at the line of scrimmage. So 2nd and long. Husky D. They've been out there more than the offense, that's for sure thus far. Trying to get the Husky faithful involved here. From the 46, 2nd and 10, no score, 9 and 16 ticks to go left in the second. Grosse Pointe South and your Northern Huskies. Huskies showing blitz, the center jumps. So they'll take that. And the minute he flinches, if you're a lineman or a linebacker blitzing, you leave, you go immediately. You want to make sure they see that at all cost, although that one there, very difficult to not see, especially when he's the snapper, right? That's the first thing they look at. So 2nd and 10 has become 2nd and 15 now, and watch Madison, they're still man-to-man down here. To pass again, Fry. Here's the pressure, but they fall. Getting it late again, outside Madison, caught again. Sanders, the safety, got over there. 3, McFedrin took the inside route. But you can't leave number 1 open, no way. And I don't have a megaphone to yell across the field. Stop the man-to-man. Even if that's considered even a glorified zone there. You know, with Debo getting over there to make the tackle late. Because McFedrin switched off, obviously. Well, Debo didn't do a bad job, actually. He got over there, but I would think, though, McFedrin stays on Madison and then with the safety help.
Illegal receiver downfield for the Blue Devils.
Well, this is another break for the Huskies, though. So that play doesn't even matter. Illegal man downfield, they're saying. Illegal receiver downfield, so 2nd and 10 has become 2nd in an eternity now. 2nd and 20 anyway. Lots of penalties in this game so far. Lots of stop and go action, but it's no score. It's close. Huskies hanging around with a very good football team. 3 wideouts, far side this time. Fry from shotgun. Here's the pressure again. Airing it out again, and this one's just overthrown. There's the manpower that time. Looked like 2 safeties back to defend that one. Madison the underneath route there, and 5 this time at the fly, Wesley Samarusti. Third down and 21 now. What do you do now? You count up 5 yards from where the sticks are, and you make sure they don't go past it. You can bend but don't break a bit, but not a lot, and watch the outside, because that right now is their best way to get 21 with number 1. They look like they're man-to-man again. We'll see. Shotgun again, 3rd and 21 from the 36 of Grosse Pointe South. Almost movement before the snap. Simple handoff to Mollison, and that's just not going to do it. Husky D holding again to the left side. Again, a whole horde of Husky tacklers. Who gets up from that pile last? Who? 28, Benjamin Hayes, that's who. And 6 as well, Calderino. He's having a good year so far, that Reno. He's in on everything. I cannot believe how well this Husky D is playing. They were a good unit last year, but the difference is night and day. When you're good already, and you go from good to great with basically the same personnel, wow. And I don't know if it's because they're pumped up from the new head coach or if his scheme is working and they listen to him, but you can tell they're having a ball. And they just weren't having that same kind of fun last year. That right there is not a play that you run thinking you're going to get 21. Sometimes, and I'm not saying there, but sometimes you run that play to give yourself better setup in the middle of the field for your punt. Believe me, it happens. Sometimes they'll do that when, of course, in field goal position. They're not in it now, but 3rd down, check that, 4th down and 17. They're going to punt this ball, so they might have done that just to get it right in the middle for punter preference and Robbie Kish, but I would think when you have Madison on the outside, you do that on a 3rd and 21, don't you? I don't know. And I hate to sound like a broken record, but especially when you're man-to-man over there, why not? Why not make the Huskies adjust to that, as I've been saying now for a long time? Here's the punt from the 25. Gets a good Blue Devil bounce, 48. Lewis Nowakowski is just going to leave it. That's a great punt to the 15, it really is. $14, Robbie Kish. That's as good as it gets, really, at this level.
Kish is run down by number 23, Jeff Blazoff.
Where was he? About the 35? 45 yards plus on that punt. And you know what? The rotation means so much on the punt because it's forward, and it bounces forward and kicks forward, and that's extra yardage. And if it bounces forward like that, you're almost guaranteed, if you're inside near the 20, the kick returner's just going to let that go anyway, so that's a good punt there. From the 16, 1st and 10, 7:35 to go in the second, still no score. Shotgun look again, play fake. Johns Moore quickly upfield. They can't down him. This play's still going on. They try a horse collar tackle, then they let go. Johns Moore to the outside. He didn't get a ton, but that effort's exceptional. It really is. That's like one of those things you see in a movie or something. The program, when he drops back at the end of the movie and he's fumbling, mumbling, stumbling, he picks it up, goes backward again, throws the bomb. He didn't get the throw off there, but here you see, there's one missed tackle and reversed his field position. There's another missed tackle, a third, and then a whole horde got him. That's just a great job by Johns Moore to even get 5, and I don't know how he did. 2nd down and 5, 21, battering ram, no sir. Lots of them, lots and lots, 49 among them. Stan Scott. And it's going to be 3rd and long.
Jeff Blazoff.
Well, so far, nothing fancy about this offensive drive as the clock continues to tick here. It's just basically Johns more on the QB keepers. This style of offense got them a lot of yards last week, but you cannot abandon the pass. 4 wide look again on 3rd and 6, ball marked 20-yard line, 6:24 to go in the second quarter and first half. Johns Moore, the high snap. Shotgun look again, QB keeper again, and goes down again. That's a sack this time. 49, same guy, Stan Scott. Mr. Akron, Ohio. And I say that, apparently Akron, I think they're a MAC team in NCAA, I think. Don't quote me on that, Akron. I think they are. They offered him a scholarship, so how about that? That's an example of why big, strong middle linebacker gets in there quick. And as Perez punts now from inside his 5, this is going to be great field position for the Blue Devils. Perez, sideline kick, out of bounds, 33 of the Huskies. Excellent field position for the Blue Devils, and they've got plenty of clock to work with. 5:34 to go, second quarter, still no score. Blue Devils, Huskies.
First and 10 Blue Devils.
If you're the Blue Devils here offensively, a few things you think about right now. You want that clock to tick down. They've got all 3 timeouts. But you want to eat up as much clock as you can, and in a perfect world, you want to score on this. Because you got to think with the clock, you don't want the Huskies to get the ball back unless you score quickly. I would try some running here, I really would. We'll see though. We'll watch the matchup. Lower screen for you, Madison and McFedrin. Fry off the play fake around left side, great. Open field tackle at the feet. Number 6, Calder Reno. He's just flat out doing the job. I don't know what else to say about that kid. And they aren't just tackles, they're tremendous yard-saving tackles. He's had 2 great weeks, and I say that, and this week's not even halfway done yet. 2nd and 8, shotgun, high snap. To the outside as Mollison gets around. McFedrin waiting there hard for him, but he's got a first down first after about 8. The key there is getting to the outside. How quick can your running back run against the defenders that are running on an angle to get him? McFedrin was not running on the angle. He was just waiting for him as more of a safety precaution, if you will, as the rest of his team was running on the angle. And while Mollison got yards there because he ran to the outside quicker than the Huskies. From the 20, 1st and 10, Grosse Pointe South, knocking on the Husky door now. Fry to pass over the middle, tipped up, nice play. Pickering. If you're not going to get an interception or a pick, and in this case, a Pickering, then that's the next best thing to bat that ball down like that. That's a good job. Here's the replay. If we can get it off in time, I don't think we will. Just over the middle, pretty quick. And if you notice, Pickering's going the other way. His momentum carried him opposite. This one's over the middle, though. Madison inside the 10 to the 7. Well, he's a good player. That's all there is to it. While on Grosse Pointe South's big-time QB, Ben Fry, Northern coach Pat Connell claimed he's an absolute, extremely talented athlete. The real deal, very versatile. There's no doubt who you have to stop to win this game. I'll tell you something, between him and the combination of him and Madison, that's going to be the key to the halftime adjustments of the Huskies. 1st and goal from the 8 now. Grosse Pointe South threatening. Fry with pressure from the Huskies, airing it out. Batted down, Pickering again. And the big time do everything linebacker really is in fine pass coverage form right now. That's two back-to-back great jobs. The first one, to me, more impressive because like I was saying, his momentum carried him the opposite way, and he just reached up and made the play, but that one equally as important as the Huskies called timeout now. 4:20 left in the second. Still no score. You can't like the Husky offense right now because they're not moving the football, they're not doing much, but Grosse Pointe South has a great defense, particularly up front. So it's not an easy task, and it's one thing for me to yap up here, but it's a good Grosse Pointe South D. We knew that coming in. They're a good team both sides of the football. That's a cute scene right there. Kind of looks like he could be a little big fella in the truck, E.J. Shea maybe. Doesn't he? He's got the hair for it. Or similar at the back, anyway, we'll say. Huge play here. But halftime adjustments are going to be key in this game. I expected Grosse Pointe South's D to play this way. I expected Northern's to too, but this good? Second down and goal from the 8. Huskies hoping for another turnover. Fry picked up immediately. Nice sack, Kenny Sanders. If I had a piece of paper in front of me and they said, Big D, draw up the script on how to make an open field tackle be a sack, I wouldn't write the script, I'd play that right there. Look at that. Boom. Outside, they don't pick him up. And that's got to be a big concern for Grosse Pointe South, too, for the second half, is how they haven't picked up blocks. Right at the line, too, the obvious ones. Some of these Huskies are just going right by. Are they not ready for the blitz from the outside, or? Third down and goal from the 18. Look out, Madison here. Here's the late pressure again. He's smoked, and he airs it out, and it's incomplete. Jalen Hayes. Nice. This is just not the same Husky team. It is not. And I said it week 1, last week, beginning of it. You get a new head coach, and sometimes that is all you need. He's doing a great job, Pat Connell, because, and I don't need to know the plays, and I don't need to know what they're doing down there. Oftentimes, a coach and how well he's doing is judged on, are the players playing for him? And they are. He's getting results. This is a 35-yard field goal. Placed down, kick. Hits the upright and misses. The Husky D holds again. How much more can you ask of this defensive unit? So far, one heck of a lot, and so far they've responded. Derek Work, the Big D, CPHS Channel 6, 35-yard field goal off the upper left upright. Still no score. And the Blue Devils are frustrated. That's a momentum changer, but if you would have told them it'd be 0-0 against this 2-7 football team from a season ago in the MAC Blue, I'm not trying to be mean, that's just a fact. They would have said, what are you talking about? Well, movement before the snap. And they're saying, I think the Huskies jumped, they did, so. Grosse Pointe South was coming on the blitz. And made them twitch. Again, sometimes it's just the slightest little movement at all. You can blink. That's about it. And officials watch right at the line, so it's tough to hide when you move. First down and 15 from the 15. High snap, good job by Johns Moore to get it. And he gets to the outside. He can't get the block, though. Too many Blue Devils. Johns Moore smoked by 4. David Vandal Islander. Vandal Islander, yeah. That's a new one. 14, Benjamin Moore over there, as you see in the sideline. Got the Mohawk, not playing tonight. Johns Moore, all day to throw this time, airing it out deep. That's into double coverage. Macaulay Hill jumps up and makes the catch. 2 men all over him. Double coverage. That's just a wide out going up and getting it. What else do you say? Wow. Macaulay, you will not make a finer one. Johns Moore, pump fake. QB keeper up the middle, look out. Gets a good block outside 45, inside to the 43. And we have a flag, and it could be unsportsmanlike. There's no Grosse Pointe players over there. That could be against the Huskies, but look at this. Well, 5 wasn't really covering him directly like 14, Robbie Kish was. This penalty, by the way, is against the Huskies. Is that an illegal shift or something? Well, either way, it's going to be first down, they're saying, and 10 from the 44. That is a great catch by Macaulay Hill. I can't believe the ball was thrown in the first place, and then I can't believe he caught it. Outstanding. It is. Johns Moore, shotgun. He's going to get decked. Look out. These guys are big and they're fast. So you either get out of the pocket or you pick up block. 73, Reggie Lewis. Boom.
Stopped on the play by number 73, Reggie Lewis.
Second down and 16 now. Johns Moore again. Off he goes again. Spin move. Oh. Got to the original line of scrimmage and now inside to the 36. It is so important to have a dual threat quarterback. Johns Moore is that, folks. Third down and 3 from the 37. Johns Moore again, passing the flat this time. Tried to cut it, didn't get the first. It's going to bring up fourth down and short. And we have an interesting decision now. What does Coach Connell do here? Because he's got no team timeouts. You have to be aware when you make this play call that Grosse Pointe South has all 3 of them. Well, he doesn't even wait. He's just going to call it. And if you're Grosse Pointe North, you cannot jump on the snap count here. You have to be disciplined. They're showing blitz anyway. High snap, Johns Moore outside. That's batted in the air and batted down. And Grosse Pointe South is going to have the football. But it's a risky move from Coach Connell. The way the Blue Devils have really moved the ball in this second quarter and first half. They're empty-handed for it so far. They haven't scored, but that's about it. It's tough to say I'm going to give them the football, moving the ball like that. Maybe he wanted to tick off more time on the one play, but that's unlikely. I would have pushed him back. You know that? I would have punted. They're moving the ball too well. And knowing they've got 3 timeouts, I'd have put them inside the 15 myself, but pretty easy to call the plays up here in the booth. Yep, it is. Yeah. First and 10 from the 36. 40 seconds to go in the second. Shotgun look again. Airing it out this time, and are they going to call it complete? They say no. They say ground first. That one needs a replay, I think. No Huskies over there at all. That's got to be frustrating to the Blue Devil sideline.
Second down and
There was no defense on the pass over there at all. 5, Simarusti. The only defense is to hope he drops the ball or something. It's an incompletion, so of course the clock stops. They paid attention that time to Madison. Here you see nothing. Oh, it's hard to tell because his body's in front of it there. I can't see the ground. But the official was sure of himself, so credit him for that. He made the call immediately. From the 36, 2nd and 10. Madison this time on the curl. Jalen Hayes trying to get to Fry. Can't do it. Pass outside. Madison is wrecked by Perez. Oh. Absolute smash job. That's opening up a can of you-know-what right there. I said earlier you got to respect Madison. I guess. Look at this hit, folks. That's good pass rush, too. Jalen Hayes almost had him. Watch this hit, though. Boom. Woo! If he's not seeing stars, it's because he's tough. Mark Perez. I told you number 5 is not a guy you just sleep on. Not that they were, but if you do, that's one of the reasons why. That's just a pop. And you know what? That tells your team, too. I'm here. This Husky D, you can't say anything but good things about them so far. Grosse Pointe South has moved the ball, but they're not on the scoreboard. And that is really all at the end of the day that means anything. Wow, what a hit though, number 5. Somebody high-five number 5. 3rd and 7 from the 39, 24 ticks to go in the second. Airing this one out deep. Overthrows him at the 25. 6 intended receiver. I don't have him. Well, I think it's, what, 16 instead? 16, sorry, John Parker. Antenna receiver. Over there to defend. 28. And nicely done by Benjamin Hayes. They are getting some serious pass rush right now on Fry. That might just be why this is happening. Parker, you might want to watch the unsportsmanlike there, because from the wrong angle, that can look like you hit him in the head. It's all good, though. Great job, Husky defense, to hold again. Wow. A good punt again. That's going to be fielded, though, and taken out of bounds. That's a smart play. 12 seconds left, and I really think you have to kneel here. There hasn't been much on the pass all first half, but can you fans out there watching this game right now tell me honestly the last time you have seen a Husky defense play this well as a unit against this good of a team? Of course, I'm going by rating alone, right? Blue Devils favored to win the Mac Blue. They did last year. I mean, this is the defending Mac Blue champions. And this offense right now has nothing to show after one half. Something has got to be said for that. Call the Big D impressed in the booth. And I'm not easily impressed. I had to throw that in there. I don't know why. From the 12, they're not kneeling at all. Look out. That's why you kneel right there. Nate Manis, intended receiver, incomplete. Because of the field position, and we have a flag on the field here. All week long, they built up Pickering, Corrigan, and Sanders. But this is an entire effort by this unit. Reno up front, Jalen Hayes, Debo, even Mark Perez had the hit of the game a minute ago. They're all doing it right now. Be careful here. 2nd and 15 from the 15. Johns Moore. He has got to cut that upfield. Forward momentum got him to the 4. And did they call a timeout first? No, they didn't. That's it. After 1 half complete, crowd on the other side is standing and clapping, and that's got to be for the Husky defense. Great job from the big D to the big D of the Huskies. Hats off to you, boys. See you in the second half, folks. The score after 1 half complete from Memorial Stadium for CPHS, Channel 6, visiting Grosse Pointe South Blue Devils, nothing. And your Huskies, nothing as well in a defensive battle for the ages. The third should be a dandy, and it's next. Oh, man, Mark Perez.
Have a nice hand for your varsity cheerleaders. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your 2010 Pointe Northern Marching Band under the direction of Eric Sink Major, field leadership of Senior Drum Major Emily Zen, field commanders Allison Kuto and Lindsay Heldon, color guard captains Hannah Griffith and Emily Shepnock. This year's halftime is a look at one of the most widely enjoyed movies of the last decade, introducing us to characters Frozone, Syndrome, and Bon Voyage. This movie became an instant classic. The 1960s spy movie soundtrack is on a cool new yet immediately recognizable. Drum commanders, are you ready to take the field? The Pointe Northern Marching Band proudly presents the Incredibles.
Welcome back. Second half action from Memorial Stadium. CPHS Channel 6, the Port Huron Area School District. I am Derek Wark, the Big D. Well, no score after one half. I can't believe it. I cannot believe how well the Husky D is playing. Again, mentioned, from an entire defensive unit standpoint. The secondary's doing it. Linebackers, of course, we talked about Pickering, Corrigan, Sanders. Even up front, I mean, Jalen Hayes is playing excellent, and Calderino, outstanding. Of course, you saw Mark Perez in that bone-crunching hit to end the first half of play. But a 0-0 game, a definite defensive battle. Grosse Pointe South starting to move the ball a bit. That can be a concern. But again, as I mentioned earlier, it's all about the score. So far, 0-0. My hat's off to the Husky D in the second half. Derek Wark, the Big D. Second half action is next. Well, I was very, very impressed, to say the least. I mean, this is a defensive unit that it wasn't quite the big question mark that the offensive unit, has been the last probably 8 to 10 years for the Port Huron Northern Huskies. But defensively, they have really, really picked up their intensity from a season ago. They've got an excellent linebacking core, let's face it. The three friends, or best friends, if you will, Pickering, Corrigan, Sanders. But From an entire defensive standpoint, I thought as a unit, first and foremost, outstanding job. And Grosse Pointe South, I really thought to end the first half of play, I thought that they seemed almost frustrated, really. And credit the defense for that. They are really shocked. I think if you told them it'd be 0-0 at halftime, they'd laugh at you. They'd consider it a joke. This is not an offense that is used to being shut down. And if you want me to give you an idea about what I mean, last week when they lost, of course, I guess they played Detroit Jesuit. What was it, like 43-39? I'm actually looking for it here if I've got it in my my stats. 43-36 was the game last week. Blue Devils lost it, their opening game last week. University of Detroit Jesuit. This is a team that put 36 points on the board last week to a very good squad, and look at it this week, nothing at halftime. The goose egg. Apparently last week, as we get back to that one, the Blue Devils, they came back from being down 23 points in the third quarter. The winning TD was scored in the final 30 seconds of that one. Last week, Fry, 11 for 20, his numbers, 178 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Fry also rushed for 132 and 3 rushing touchdowns himself. So my whole point here is this is not a team that is used to getting nothing at halftime. But again, you look across the field and you tip your hat. You got to tip your hat and say, great work, Husky D. Can it continue? Let's wait and see. We haven't had many kickoffs at all in this game. Let's get nasty, Port Huron, as the second kickoff, I believe, of it. Taken from the 2, quickly up to the 5, stops, starts to the 8-0. So it's not going to be very good field position to start out this second half of play for the Huskies. And if one thing, the half there, and they go back into the locker room, they talk about things, to make adjustments and all the rest. But the biggest single thing is, man, to reward that defensive unit with some rest. Something they obviously have not had a great deal of in this game. We'll see if the offense can start moving the football. Johns Moore on 1st and 10. Immediate give, up, down, got maybe 1, maybe 2. There you see, no score. Port Huron Northern and Grosse Pointe South, and I can't believe it. But I kind of thought going in that if Grosse Pointe South came out and started scoring a lot, the whole key would be, can the Huskies overcome that? What they wanted to do in this game is exactly what they're doing. They're keeping the game close. And really, this might come down to special teams or one turnover. Huskies have certainly had their opportunities with field position, but Grosse Pointe South, I don't know how they're not on the scoreboard. 2nd down and 10 from the 10. They say no gain officially on that last one. This is Debo to the outside, trying to cut upfield quickly. Didn't get much. Well, on those west to east runs, or east-west runs, if you will, they're hard to do because sometimes you've got to get to the outside as quickly as you've got to cut the ball upfield once you do get there. And the more you don't go north-south with the football, the more time the defense has to get over there in the first place. 3rd down and 10 from the 10. 10:24 left in the third. From shotgun. Alex Johns Moore again. To pass, nope, instead he's going to do a keeper and nothing. Going to get buried, and that'll bring up 4th down. It's a tough call on 3rd down because it's not likely something you're going to get yardage off of, although that QB keeper by Johns Moore this game, they have gotten some yards off it. So it brings up fourth down to the punt now. Standing at his own 1 yard line is Perez. He's had a few good punts thus far in this one. Takes a Husky bounce. Rumbling right around there, the 49, where the Huskies going to down the ball in their end. I'm very, very pleased to be joined by my cousin up here in the booth right now. I know you can't say nothing, but that's a fancy umbrella too, by the way. My main man, Doug, used to get Michigan tickets. Gets lots of Lions tickets for me, though. Okay, I'll be quiet now. Derek Work, the Big D, CPHS Channel 6, the Port Huron Area School District television station, and shocked, but in a good way, I guess is the best way to say it, with no score here. In the early parts of the third quarter, again, great defensive effort on the whole by the Huskies. The unit has played solid from an 11-player standpoint, and I haven't said that very often in the past, 8, 9, 10 years. Shotgun this time, Fry cuts upfield, look out here, got 10, spin move, gets 14, pushed forward, 15, a whole horde of Husky tacklers waiting for him. Tyler Corrigan among them. Debo Darian Hack, furious, he got up with the football. He thought it was his, thought it was the Huskies, but that's a big gain right there. First down, Grosse, Pointe, South. And you have to wonder, as they went back into the dressing room, how shocked they really were. Here's the replay. Because they scored 36 last week. They're sitting at nothing at halftime against a team where, I mean, I don't want to pick on the Huskies here, but they're favored to beat coming into this one. And nothing to show for it on the scoreboard. I find that amazing. Perez among tacklers. Hack again. Corrigan. From the 30 now, 1st and 10. Shotgun look again, 2 wide and 1 back. They give to Mollison, mauled right away and downed Austin Pickering. He's having some kind of game, he really is. Batted down a couple passes in the first half. There he is, getting into the backfield very, very quickly and downing Mollison. And they said that this Mollison, versatile runner, can get outside quickly. We haven't seen much of that in this game, and is that mainly because of the Huskies and their great pursuit past that line, or immediate give? He just jumped through. Grosse Pointe South, if there's one thing about them tonight, they have not picked up their blocks. 2nd and 14, ball mark 34-yard line, outside, caught. Madison again, close to the sticks. That guy can flat out get it done, and I mentioned it in the first half. Huskies single coverage, man-to-man coverage on him throughout. And I said that might be the key adjustment in this game. Is, do they stick with man-to-man? Do they double him with safety help? Obviously a talented guy, and he'll be playing on Saturday somewhere next year, I would guess. 3rd down and 5 from the 25. Big play right now, Husky D. Yet again, shotgun. Fry to the outside, option look, cuts it up, and he got it. To the 15, to the 14. Well, you don't like to see that. As easy as he got it. This Ben Fry, though, very highly rated. As a dual threat QB, they say, too. 3 touchdowns last week on the rush. Again, they lost 42-36. Well, a big shout out to the entire CPHS Channel 6 cast here in just a moment. I'll let the play run first, then I'll tell you all about the folks all over the field tonight. Multiple camera shoot. 1st and 10, ball marked 16, kind of rumbles forward to the right. One of the tacklers, 56, Chad Patterson. And if the game would have ended after the first half of play, as you know, I like to hand out players of the game offensively and defensively. It's one of the rare times, and the color man I used to have up here in the booth with me, Tom Hyja, who, needless to say, isn't showing himself much these days. We used to pick players of the game, and he used to give to entire units. I would give to the entire Husky D for that first half the way they played, if that was it. This is the beginning of the third quarter, though. This is Fry, outside, end zone, hack. From behind the back, pretty strong defensive play. Looked like he got there late, too. 9 intended receiver, Jack Doyle. Well, the camera people tonight, Emily Desmet, Aaron Bitzinger, and Josiah Creedler. Slow-mo cam, the Bloodhound up there on the roof. Chris Orell. And he made himself a little ceiling up there, as I showed you. Well, that there is Emily Desmet, way, way over there to my left. Don't even know if I can see her from where I'm sitting, but anyway, slow-mo director, the big fella in the truck, E.J. Shea. Graphics, the shoeless one, Chad Schuler. And the Green Hornet, as he likes to be called, Ed Sinek. Production supervisor in the CPHS bus down there. 3rd down and 7 from the 13. The handoff. He's getting eaten alive, this Mollison. Mark Perez again. Well, there's the senior. And this is a defensive unit that's loaded with seniors. Perez, a bone-crunching hit on Madison. We talked about that down there at the truck at the half. Closed out the half with that one. And see, this Mollison just isn't cutting it upfield enough or hard enough. And Perez waiting for him. There you go. They're going to try one from 31. Missed one earlier. Huskies kept him off the scoreboard. Or are they going to do it again? From 31. Snap, place down. Kick up. Hands down. Well, they're saying it's no good. From my angle, it looked good. Wide right, apparently. Don't have the best angle to look at that one, but 6:22 to go in the third. There you see still no score. CPHS Channel 6. Derek Wark, the big D. And a game where really this Husky offense has got to get something going. Really their biggest play from scrimmage. A long throw that I thought really shouldn't have been thrown late in the first half. Macaulay Hill made a great grab on it in double coverage. And besides this Grosse Pointe South defense and this big defensive line really have owned the show. There's not much of a rush from the Huskies, other than the fact that Johns Moore, the new quarterback for them, he takes off. QB keepers the odd time. He's had some success in that area today, but oh, we'll look at that Husky schedule here in just a moment. Coming off the big Stony Creek victory last week. That Stony Creek team, a lot better than I thought. 23-13, and it was a real good warm-up game for the Huskies for this one, and certainly gave them confidence going in. From the 20, 1st and 10, movement all over the place. Looks like maybe right guard, right tackle, a little bit of a flinch. Again, last week, they beat Stony Creek 23-13. Tonight, as you're aware, Grosse Pointe South. Next week, again, they host L'Anse Creuse High School, and then they host Chippewa Valley. 4 games in a row to start the season. They are at the friendly confines of Memorial Stadium. The Big Reds certainly wouldn't like that, but from the same aspect, I mean, they get some tough games over on the road in the first 4. And that rivalry game the second last week, but I'll talk about the rest of that schedule here in just a moment. Johns Moore, shotgun, outside, caught, tries to cut it up. Macaulay Hill, not much. Every time it seems that they are passing the football, Grosse Pointe South is over there waiting with 1 man, at least 2 men most of the time. And that's what you got to do with a guy like Macaulay Hill, who had a couple touchdowns last week, as we said, 14 yards, 16-yard touchdowns, and he's a guy who can get the job done. And last year with the kind of veer option, as they said, that they ran, I couldn't get a good look at how the wideouts fared as far as catching the football goes. And while Tyler Smith and Macaulay Hill, the 2 main wideouts on the team this year, couldn't really tell that last season. From the 15, it's 2nd and 19. Slips, slides, doesn't get much. That brings up 3rd and long yet again. See, any kind of running back that touches the football is just getting eaten alive right now. And that has to do with the push they're getting up front. Big fella down there in the truck, he was saying earlier at halftime that the push the guard and the tackle are getting on the defensive line is just, it's causing this. And why not, with the two of them being, what was it, close to 600 pounds? And both of them equal probably 6'3", 6'4", so, or right around there anyway. It's got to be tough to run right at those guys. 3rd down and 9, 21. This is a big play because they haven't really moved the ball in ages. QB rollout this time. Debo, a late block, gonna air it out deep, a wobbly pass, caught! Tyler Smith and out of bounds near midfield. It's good concentration. It's an even better all-around catch with the man, Hartman there, number 24 for Grosse Pointe South. He had a hand all over him. See if we can get a replay. This is kind of a pattern run across the field. Oh, that's the play before where Hack's kind of not much there and a whole bunch of tacklers there waiting for him right at the line. 4:12 left to go in the 3rd. Still no score from Memorial Stadium. I can't tell you how many times in the last 10 years of a Husky game I've said no score after 3. Probably 0. High snap. Good job by Johnsmore. Holding on, caught, but he falls down, and he had about probably 4 more yards. Mark Perez, number 5, certainly doing it from a defensive standpoint tonight. Gets a catch offensively, and he's down. Coach Connell out to check on things. The very popular Coach Connell after winning last week, and hopefully this isn't serious. That last Darian Hack run there up the middle where he kind of slipped and slided, I mean, it tells you the field is still wet. It drains really well here, and I said it earlier, the trip over today, I saw puddles everywhere, and then I got here on this field and it was dry, or it looked dry compared to what I was seeing on the way here. There's Perez just shaking up. And he gets up right away. Why? Because he's a TG tough guy. That's why. Good player, that number 5. Again, started off as the starting quarterback last season. And it shows you how versatile these guys are. I mean, two-way player, both sides of the football. And first and foremost, a good athlete. And a lot of these kids star in 2 sports, 3 sports. A lot of them are track stars, so. From the 49 now, 2nd and 6, just over 4 to play in the 3rd. Shotgun look, keeps the ball, goes down, and another case of slips and falls and all the rest. 39, a nice tackle. Will Reeves, one of the highly rated linebackers I told you about when this game began. Again, the rest of that schedule, I'll tell you about that. At Utica, after the Chippewa Valley game, then they're at Sterling Heights. That's where the Big Reds, by the way, are tonight. In what's likely to be an offensive explosion there. Sterling Heights has a good one. From midfield, 3rd and 7, high snap again. Johnsmore to the outside again, and just incomplete, probably threw it away. Tyler Smith, intended receiver. And that'll bring up 4th down. After that, October the 8th, they're at Anchor Bay. Then, October the 15th is the rivalry game. PHN versus PHHS. And I'll tell you, that has a chance this season. And again, I haven't said that very often in the last, 5-6 years at least. This has a chance this season to be a real good rivalry matchup. And you've got 2 teams now that run very similar styles of offense. For that reason, entertaining to watch. And then, of course, the final week, October 22nd, they're at St. Clair. There you see the band a minute ago. Here's the punt by Macaulay Hill. It's a good one. Look out, Madison, very, very dangerous, but I think we have a block in the back, and I think that's coming back. Great athletic run by Madison. Tries a stiff arm on, of all people, the punter there, Macaulay Hill. Of course, that's not fair. Not really a punter in your truest form. a wide out on offense and basically their big go-to threat. But there's a flag way back at the 21, and I don't think there's any doubt this is coming back. Yep. So with Madison and a tremendous run back there, certainly Huskies dodge a bullet. And this Madison certainly runs like he's a bullet. Here's the punt again. Well, there you see the block in the back right there. Yep. Push Debo, Darian Hack in the back, no doubt. And look at the athletic moves here, though. Couldn't quite get around Macaulay Hill. That's a good effort by Hill, too, to stay with a very talented athlete and player. So they are pushed way back now, inside the 15, I think the 11. So Ben Fry brings his team out again. Still no score. Port Huron Northern Huskies visiting Grosse Pointe South Blue Devils. Nothing to show on either side so far. Thanks mostly to the great effort by Northern's defense. Mollison finally gets a big-time carry. Dropped the football by the looks of things. Nope, might have gotten it back. Jalen Hayes among tacklers for the Huskies. Not before a first down, Mollison. Pretty well his best run of the game to this point anyway. Hack, Hayes among the tacklers. We haven't really seen too many carries offensively from Hack and Sanders, as you do on most weeks. They've really had trouble with the line play tonight, and with the size of Grosse Pointe South, I can understand that. QB keeper outside, Fry, all kinds of yards, 45 up 47. And a first down, 21 over there for the Huskies. Might get credit for the tackle, Hunter Potter. So Grosse Pointe South, basically, when they have to, they continue to run the football, and they continue to do it pretty well. And Northern, coming into this game, knew they were going to do that. But as this game goes along, Northern's going to try and hang around, and they really want to keep it like this. They want to keep it close-knit, because that's where they have a chance in a game like this. Grosse Pointe South, again, defending MAC Blue champs. They won it last year. They're favored heavily to do it again this year. Just the fact that the Huskies are in this game, I can't say it enough. Credit to the defense. Big play here. Patterson decks them. They want intentional grounding. That should be. And here it is, the late flag. Well, an obvious call there. Inside the pocket, he had to throw it. And it's easier said than done, but one there that you really have to eat the sack. You have to just take it, tuck the ball in, and, well, intentional grounding. 1st and 10 has become 1st and a long ways to go. Again, Derek Work, the Big D, CPHS Channel 6. If you just joined us and see no score on the board, wonder why it's not the first quarter. It's been that kind of a game. Defensive-minded. They say defense wins. Well, here's an example. Chad Patterson, right there. Corrigan, the missed sack. Patterson decked him. And then the penalty. No one over there. Not even close to being in the vicinity of being over there, so. From the 41, 2nd and 15. Fry shotgun again, cuts it up again. Almost got his head taken off by Hack. There's a lot of Huskies that are having good days, tackling and all the rest, but if you're having a good day or not, that quarterback comes over the middle like that, your eyes just lighten up. That's a good opportunity to deck him, as much as you don't want to see anybody get hurt, obviously. Again, 25, Brian McAllister went down earlier, and haven't heard about his injury extent for Grosse Pointe South. They took him off in a stretcher, so again, All the best to him and his family tonight. 3rd down and 10 from the 46. It's 1.5 minutes to go in the 3rd. Fry off play action. Calderino, open field tackle, got him at the feet. He's having some kind of night. And he continues to do the job when you need it the most. This Calderino, this 6-foot, 160-pounder defensive lineman. And you heard me correctly, only 160 on the DL, or defensive line. If anything, year after year, this Husky team is undersized. They're not very big. Oh, there you see, he just gets by the block, and I wasn't sure he was going to hold that tackle, but he did. Wrapped him up by the feet. He's having a great night. Calderino. Here's the punt. Pushed back at the 20, look out. Bobbles. Kick return here. Cut up, got down to the 21, and 54 on the tackle. Check that 56, Stu McKay. There you see 34 seconds left. A couple of goose eggs. Grosse Pointe South has missed a couple of field goals. And boy, in Northern's case, their first drive of this game in the first quarter, doesn't that look huge right now, considering they started from what, the 15? Couldn't make anything out of it, and some unfortunate penalties, and they couldn't even get on the board at all. But so both teams have had their chances, although the Blue Devils more so than the Huskies. And Huskies a victim in the second half so far, a bad field position. 1st and 10, 22, nothing. 5 in open field tackle, Wesley Simarusti, and we've certainly heard his name a lot in this one. Final 15 seconds. I don't think they're going to get a play here. Final 10 now. They're going to let this quarter run down. So, are you kidding me? 3 quarters complete and we're still scoreless. Easter comes in April, but we've got a few goose eggs on that scoreboard after 3 complete from Memorial Stadium. Nothing. Grosse Pointe South and your Port Huron Northern Huskies, whose defense continues to be on the prowl. Derek Work, Big D, CPHS Channel 6, back with the 4th in a moment. Welcome back to the 4th from Memorial Stadium. We're after 3, and I have to laugh because as much respect due to the Husky D, there's nothing on the scoreboard. Nothing. Grosse Pointe South, we knew what they brought to the table tonight. They're a good two-way team, a great MAC blue talent. Really, they should be in the MAC white. But Huskies are still hanging in there. 2nd and 13, airing this one out deep. This is Macaulay Hill, caught on the outside. We have a flag first. I thought he stepped out of bounds, but there is no call. Touchdown, Huskies. And it all comes down to what the flag is, thrown at midfield. And I'll tell you something, because I saw it. Macaulay Hill stepped out of bounds at the 45. I can't believe the coaches aren't irate about that, probably because they think the flag is against the Huskies. We'll see if we can get a replay, because I'm almost certain that he stepped out at the 45. Crowd over there on the Husky side chanting something I dare not repeat. Family programming. Big D's all about the family programming too. Over there, they call them the James Zone in basketball. They call it the pack. In football, it's a touchdown for the Huskies. The flag is waved off. Macaulay Hill, 6. Here's the replay here. Watch the sideline. Guaranteed. Right there. On the white, I guarantee it. But referee didn't see it. I'm glad he didn't. My cousin up here in the booth, Doug, says no, you think it's in bounds. All right. You're the go-to guy, so I believe you. Touchdown, Huskies. Gotta love it. This would be a tremendous upset. I'm jumping the gun here. But I'll tell you something. With 11:49, as far as I'm concerned, it is already an upset. 7-0 Huskies. And this converted end-around runner from a season ago, Macaulay Hill, is the story for points for the Huskies in 2010. Here's a guy that, and I hate to keep harping on it, with the veer option, right there. That is so close. I'm sorry. I know we can't focus right on the toe. Remember, he's just got to touch the line. Okay? That is dead right on it. I don't know how else to describe that. If he's in bounce, funny though, that flag was down and all I was concerned about with him stepping out. But I think you made the right play call there, Doug. I think you made the right one. 11:49 on the clock. Grosse Pointe South. I don't even have to know what the fans are thinking. They're stunned right now. Huskies the kickoff. Let's get nasty, Port Huron. Flags all over the place. Offside on the kickoff, maybe not ready for it. I don't know. Maybe official timeout first. I don't see a flag anywhere. Officials looking over at each other. They're both giving the I don't know. This might be just done again. Okay. Kicking it again, so. Well, you can hear the players yelling at each other down here, Grosse Pointe South, and I said they're frustrated. I didn't even need to hear that to know they are. You think about it. University of Detroit Jesuit last week scored 36. Check that, 41 on them. They got 36 and they lost. Do you think that this is a team that is used to having nothing in the fourth quarter? Kickoff. Let's get nasty, Port Huron. An up lineman takes that one 20-25, quickly 30, down 33. That's that 49, Stanley Scott. Getting up last from that pile, Jacob Maxwell, 68. 11:45. Plenty of time for Grosse Pointe South here in the fourth. But what a victory thus far for the Husky D, because now you got to think, all the pressure is put squarely on the hands of Grosse Pointe South. There it is again, the super duper slow-mo. That's right around where he stepped out. He's clearly in bounds right there. They're going to run a play here. Maybe we can't see it, but does he step down right there? Oh, that's close. We had to cut it right at the last second. Fry to the outside. Caught Madison. You can't. Well, he might have got a face mask there too. Well, they're saying no, but Victor Madison is a guy you cannot leave knowing you missed the tackle on. Right there. Is his foot on the white at all? That is so close. I don't know what to say. I would say by that angle, no, but that's one of those, the official didn't see it, so who cares, you know? Even if I'm wrong. Good job down there, E.J. Shea, to get that replay, too. From the 50, right smack dab midfield. Fry, again. Airing it out deep again, overthrows the intended receiver, though, this time 16, John Parker. Well, they can't go to Madison all day long, can they? Every single play, it seems. Or when they pass, at least. But the defense covering Madison is a little tighter, and they had to make it so. This game began with Mitchell McFedrin, who is not a small guy by any means, guarding Madison man-to-man. And that's fine and dandy, but you're taking a bit of a risk there. So far, nothing to show for it on the scoreboard, and that's all that counts. The fake option pitch. Nice tackle. Connor Reno again. Huh, he just makes plays. His nickname should be Mr. Make a Play, because he does. Well, anybody who doesn't have a cell phone anymore just is not with technology. Fry the fake pitch. And there you see the replay. Good defense again, Huskies. Very, very big play here. 3rd and 9 from the Husky 49. They come in on a blitz, hitting hard. Fry has all day to throw on the rollout. Caught. Hit hard, but not before a first down again. 16, who they just tried to go to, John Parker. And a late flag down as well. Could be 15 more, too. And a good call by Grosse Pointe South to go right back to Parker. The overthrow, of course, a minute ago. Can the Huskies hold on? That's the big question here. Plenty of time. Over 10 to go in the 4th. They lead a very talented Grosse Pointe South team and a stunned Grosse Pointe South team. 7-0. And the flag is waved off. A couple Blue Devil fans underneath me can't believe it. That's not the first flag that was waved off tonight. I figured you'd be over across the field from me playing the 50-50 tonight, Doug. What's going on there? I'd play it, but as you're aware, the $1 American equals 1 million Canadian. I can't afford it. Oh, you did play it? Okay. He's got tickets up here in the booth. I like that. Under 10 to go now in the 4th. From the 37, it's 1st and 10. Option look again. The pitch back this time. Mollison. Lots of yards, lots of room. Dragged down by Corrigan. Got 8, maybe 8.5. All kinds of threats on an offense, very deep with them. And you can pick who they're going to attack with. They had a tight end earlier, 89 Martin Moesta. He looked like he was about 6'5", so there's some size here. And I'm actually surprised they haven't gone back to him, to be honest. He's out there now, upper right of the offensive line. 2nd and 11, ball mark 28. 9:19 left. Can the Husky D stop them again from getting on the scoreboard? It's been a tall task to ask of them all night long, but they've done it. 3 backs in the backfield this time. There's nothing fancy about this. It's all power. A great job by the Huskies that time to go around the blocks. Jalen Hayes behind the back. Nice tackle. Jalen, don't call me Wayne Gretzky Hayes. He's got number 99 and he plays big. We're to 9 minutes even. And my next question is, can this clock possibly tick off quick enough for that team in yellow and blue across the field from me? First down and 10, they say, from the 26. Impressive drive from the Blue Devils. That Husky D might be getting tired. Same play call and same great tackle by Calder Reno again. He's some kind of machine. And if you notice with him too, his tackles are by the legs, they're by the feet. He's wrapping guys up and he's making sure of it. And these are running backs that they say you're supposed to keep your feet moving at all times. And if they are, it's the hardest tackle to make, let's face it. So easy to miss tackle at the legs. This kid's wrapping them up. And I said earlier I might cop out and give defensive player of the game to the entire Husky defensive unit, but how can you not give it to number 6 with the game he's played? Pickering is another one. He was great tonight, especially in his pass coverage as a linebacker to the outside. It was great, but man, number 6, wow. Again, the same play call, but the different running back this time. That's Stanley Scott, and nothing again. Sanders jumps the hole. Pickering jumps the hole. The last 3 plays run in this game for Grosse Pointe South have been simply the 2 backs ahead block, all-out power attack, and give to the running back, who there was the fullback. So you're sending 2 big blockers and 1 big back saying boom, and they haven't done it. 3rd down and 5, 24. Fry, pitch out again. Those same 2 running backs are blocking again. Can he get enough? Cut up field close. Husky crowd over there cheering. Very close by the looks of things. And no, it's going to be 4th down. 4th and short. Interesting play call here, but I don't think there's any doubt. The Blue Devils are going to go for this. And more than likely the same kind of power attack. Keep in mind, if you're the Huskies, do not let Fry make a quarterback sneak or draw into bigger yards than necessary. This is a good athlete. 4th and a short 2 by the looks of things from the 18. Biggest play of the game right now, certainly for the Husky D. Do they come after him? They're moving all over the place. They're showing blitz. Fry got it. Pickering eventually did make the tackle. First and foremost, you want to make the stop on a good athlete, but this Fry can flat out fly. He's like John Smore. He'll take off with the ball. 3 rushing touchdowns last week, 100 and some yards rushing. If you're wondering, by the way, both teams all timeouts left, which certainly will be a factor. And if you're Grosse Pointe South, do you continue to run the football here, tick off clock, and think, we don't want the Huskies to get this ball back, or do you score quickly? They're in that same power look. From the 14, it's 1st and 10. Play fake again, but from the backside again, Austin Pickering. Let me tell you, folks, these guys are outsized to a man, and they're getting around him with hard work. .24 has been on a different planet tonight, Pickering. Here you see the replay again. He's going to come from the outside and just sack him from the back. Well, that's just a great job. And again, Grosse Pointe South has missed so many just up the middle blocks tonight for such a big line. Shotgun again, 2nd and 12 again, airing this one out end zone, Madison. Well, they're waiting for the decision, and it is a touchdown. Victor Madison. You had to know it was coming, right? This number 1 is a heck of a player. Victor Madison, 6 for Grosse Pointe South. And now, because of the lack of scoring in this game, this extra point is so important, the game could ride on its shoulders. And this isn't like the pros where they line up for an extra point and you can almost mark it down 98% of the time. At this level, cross your fingers, folks. 4:39 to go. Extra point, placed down, up, through. Well, the bottom line is this. The Huskies have 4:39 left. They can hope for a good kick return. All 3 timeouts, this is definitely doable. But as I just mentioned a second ago, and reverse the field, now the Huskies have to be considering that they don't want Grosse Pointe South touching this ball with 4:39 left to go again. You get this clock down, you use your timeouts if you have to, but keep the clock rolling if necessary. that makes it your game before maybe in overtime. You gotta make sure of the time of possession here with all 3 timeouts, but keep that in mind too. Grosse Pointe South across the way, they've got all 3 too. And it'll be interesting to see at what point they start to use theirs. Again, a great game. If you're an offensive guru, you should have stayed home. If you're not and you like defensive battles, and I do because it's different. Well, if you do like defensive games, this is the one for you. Here we go, the kickoff. 16, Parker. Ready to go, they say Giver. Here he goes, Parker, and let's get nasty, Port Huron. Coming up quickly to get it at the 15, now to the 20. Well, the block kind of left him, and he's down at the 20. 48, I believe, Lewis Nowakowski, the kick return. So now you got to think. 60 yards they've got to go at this level, probably at least. Not sure what kind of kicker they've got. I know 12, Macaulay Hill does the kicking as well. Can the offense, who have relied on the defense for 95% of this football game, earn this win? They're going to have to reach back and get it. 1st and 10. Johnsmore quickly, Nowakowski again, left side, nothing. And here's where ticking off the clock comes into play now. 23, a fine stop, Jeff Blazoff. Wesley Simarusti, I think, the best defensive player tonight for Grosse Pointe South. At least he was in the first half. He gets my defensive player of the game for them. Offensively, you got to give it to Victor Madison. I said earlier, this 39, well, not 39, Will Reeves. Stanley Scott, 49, that's it, there we go. Scholarship offer to Akron, Ohio, so they've got some weapons on this team. 2nd and 8, Johnsmore the rollout, decked as he threw, and incomplete. And really cross your fingers about this one. Johnsmore has gone down, number 2, and that is something they can ill afford. And also keep in mind as you see this, their starting quarterback, Matt Davis, who's so promising this season, went down season-ending injuries. And that was 2 weeks ago in a scrimmage of all things, so they can ill afford Johnsmore, number 2, to go down. Moving, and that's a good sign. Maybe just a cramp. That's what you hope for. There you see the trainer talking to him. That play there, though, it's designed to develop late because Macaulay Hill's coming from the top side, running the length of the field as Johnsmore's on the rollout to that same side. Here's a look at the replay. And what I'm talking about. See, Johnsmore here, waiting for Hill to get across, waiting on the rollout. And he got hammered because the first guy tackled him and he didn't go down. That's a very dangerous situation for a quarterback. And really the play of the game right now for this offense. Will we see more Cinderella magic out of Macaulay Hill? Pat Connell, timeout, Huskies. And you've got to think, as you see the Husky offense, and they're actually the Grosse Pointe South bench. There's the time left, 3:43, 7-0. 2 timeouts, Huskies, 3. Blue Devils still. But you got to think, looking at the Husky offense out here, you have to think about the Husky D and how they have not had much rest today. They've been on the field for a lot of the day. Can this offense earn the defense a first down? As mentioned last week, when you have any kind of an offensive change in a system and a new coach to authorize it, it doesn't come overnight. Rich Rodriguez has gone through it at Michigan. I mean, third year of that. You need the personnel. It doesn't come right away, and it takes adjustments all the time, and you can't get frustrated. Well, this is a very good defense they faced tonight. Stony Creek played well last week. They got 23 on them, but it's going to come. But it doesn't come overnight when you change everything. And especially when you go from, a veer option to a four-wide look. I mean, it just doesn't happen overnight. There's going to be growing pains, and certainly they want them all over and done with when the rivalry game comes, but jumping the gun there, of course. That's the second last week of October. 3rd and 8 from the 22 in a very big play. To pass, Tyler Smith. He's the backup, by the way. Cutting that ball upfield is Nate Manis. He's close, but not quite. I tell you, for a kid who just entered the game, Tyler Smith, 89, that's really not a bad first pass. And an interesting play call here. You have to punt it, but does he think about the option of going for it? It'd be greedy to do it, but it's got to cross your mind as a head coach with, well, they say 4th and 3. Okay, I thought the play mark would be better than that. So the punt, a very, very important punt at that, with Madison calling the fair catch at the 41. Hack and Corrigan in the vicinity. Another question is in thought right now for this Grosse Pointe team. How good is your kicker? Because that tells you how far they've got to go down the field here. And at the will they've been moving the ball lately, they just haven't really capitalized with any scoring. But then again, you think appropriate. This game has belonged to the Husky D. Why not have the Husky D decide it? And here they are. 1st down and 10 from the 40. You talk about a time when a turnover is needed for a defense. Here's one. Shotgun look, 3 wide set again. Open hole galore. Eventually tackle made by Pickering and Debo. Not before 11 and a 1st down. That whole defensive line just left, really. Pushed forward and blocked. And the hole he had left side was really astronomical there. From the 49 now, 1st and 10, 49 of the Huskies. Everybody nervous here, a 7-all tie. High snap, Fry, option, nothing. Tried to kind of lower his head, maybe a spin move, got 1, maybe 2 tops. And that brings up 2nd down. 2.5 now to go in the 4th. All 3 timeouts for the Blue Devils. That could be the biggest single stat left. Low snap, picked up, caught, John Parker. It's complete, but he stepped out of bounds immediately. But there's 10 more, and a 1st down. And he got out of bounds. Chain's moving anyway, stops the clock, but Fry has had quite the game. You can tell by how dirty his jersey is. He's been really in a battle all night long with the Husky defense. Win or lose, though, in this game, that defensive unit has got to be real proud, because as much as this has been the best unit for them for 10 years, they have never played like this. I don't recall ever seeing this defense play this well against this good a competition. Fry steps up in the pocket. Outside, Parker again. They're trying to lure the D deep with Madison. As many as they can, and these little underneath hook routes, they work. Because if you're the Huskies, you're crazy to let number 1 beat you now. And Grosse Pointe South knows that. Huskies Every time Grosse Pointe touches this ball, you got to go for the strip here. You just do. From the 24, again, 1st and 10. They send the man in motion. That is 5, Samarusti. Well, got by the line again. Look out. 11 to the 10. Kenny Sanders among tacklers. 56, Patterson also. Fans here are very vocal. Actually, this guy here's going right down to the sideline to make sure the coach knows to run down some clock, but I would think at this stage he would know that. Of course, I'm referring to Tom Brandon, the head coach of the Blue Devils. Turnover or bust at this point, and Coach Connell wants another timeout. And I just know in the Times-Herald this week, I'm going to open it up and I'm going to read something that's going to say, Coach Connell, proud of this defense. And rightfully so. And Grosse Pointe South, they came out at halftime and really after the Huskies took a 7-0 lead. And they were frustrated. You could hear them yelling at each other down there on the sidelines. Normal for football, but that's not really going on anymore. They've got a new life down there, but there was a point in this game, actually late in the 3rd quarter, where the Huskies had this Mac Blue favorite. As I said, should be in the Mac White. They had them worried. And I think that says something. And all those years that the Big Reds have won this inner city rivalry, I said it all along, it had nothing to do with the athletes. They're every bit as talented, believe me. 1st and goal, right smack dab on the 10. Play action. Check that shotgun. Corrigan immediately goes up and tackles him. That's just a plea really to run down clock and or force Connell to use a timeout. And I think he did. Well, by the way he's strolling out there, I hope he did. Of course, Coach K last year there, Coach Gusera, he'd walk out a half a mile before he'd call timeout, stand about midfield and then make the tee. I don't know how he got away with that, but it was funny to watch. Anyway, 1:21 left in the 4th, and maybe, we'll cross our fingers on that one, maybe left in the 4th. Again, this is CPHS Channel 6. And again, Derek Work, the Big D from Memorial Stadium, where it's been a doozy, despite not a lot of scoring. Usually in football games, I'm all about the scoring. You know, the Big D likes the big scoring. But, hey, it's kind of been a refreshing game, and I wouldn't think going in if you'd have told me 7-7 in the 4th, I would have said that's a refreshing game, but I'm kind of enjoying this, to be honest. That's that them 50-50 tickets being tossed out in the garbage? No luck, huh? Did they announce a couple hundred? No? 2nd down and goal. No gain on that last play. From the 10. I formation this time. A rare look at the I with Madison in motion. This has to be a run, I would think. To the fullback. This is Stanley Scott, I believe. Not much. Maybe 3 tops. Among tacklers, Patterson again. Brings up 3rd down, and Coach Connell has used yet another timeout. The scoreboard still shows 1 timeout after this for the Huskies. I would think, knowing that, this next play is a make or break. They're putting all their eggs in one basket here, hoping to stop them. But the biggest single play offensively in this game for Grosse Pointe is next. And obviously, defensively, for the Huskies.
Mr. Official, whose timeout was that?
And should the Huskies stop them, I say this with great reluctance, the game would come down to special teams. I don't know if I want it to. The way the Husky D is played, do they not deserve to decide this one? I'd love to see it decided with them. 3rd and goal from the 7. coming out of the timeout, usually in this stage, not just to stop the clock, either to make a set play or even to have them rest. We'll see. The play of week 3 and game 2 for the Huskies. 3rd and goal from the 7. Option pitch. They leave him alone to the outside. McFedrin over there makes a fine tackle, and the stop also made on the helper, Reno and Pickering. And I'm not shocked that Reno and Pickering are the two over there to do it. So now the game comes down to one kick. And it's not a far kick. And that last play, do you run it thinking we might not get it on a kicker preference of what side of the field he gets this lined up on? Hey, they do it. Something to think about as we see 16, John Parker. Well, there's the replay there. Great job by McFedrin to not commit. Knowing you wrap him up there, knowing you get defensive help there. It comes down to a kick or OT because the Huskies cannot stop the clock anymore. Ball is on the 7. And what more can be said except it comes down to this. Congratulations, Huskies, on a game they've played tremendous. And a game where let's let bygones be bygones and be honest here. If they play this game 3 years ago, they're not in it. That's just what this new head coach, Pat Connell, has done. Really for everybody. The fans are more excited. Doug's out to some games now. And for the seniors, I mean, how refreshing. They get one last kick at the can with something more wide open. Well, here we go. Husky fans are going to yell, they're going to scream, they're going to do everything they can. From about 24. Placed down, it's up. And it's through. It's through, but nothing to hang their heads up. No way. And their crosstown rivals, the Big Reds, when they get home from Sterling Heights tonight, they'll look at who won this game. They'll probably look at it thinking, this is going to be amusing. No. 10-7. And I wouldn't say that, but the fact is, Grosse Pointe South, this is a Mac Blue favorite. I've said that enough tonight. 7-3 last year. All kinds of size. They've got a good, talented athlete at quarterback, similar to the Huskies. I'm not sure you kick this ball to the Huskies here, the way your defense has played tonight. And if I'm the Huskies, I don't even know if I send the two most sure-handed guys back there as much as I send the two fastest guys. So the kickoff, Huskies one last chance to fight back. And it is a squib kick. Let's get nasty again, Port Huron. Quickly it's up, and quickly he's down. With no timeouts, you can't get out of bounds. They will be in a prevent for probably 20 to 30 yards here. Anything over the middle, let's face it, will probably end the game. You've got to do something. A deep post out, really? Unless you just go for the jugular right now. And if you're Grosse Pointe South, you do not let Macaulay Hill be the one. I tell you, don't sleep on Tyler Smith either. He caught the bomb last week. Macaulay Hill is 12, lined up near side. 4 wide. Debo, the last defensive blocker. Grosse Pointe South is blitzing. Johns more to the outside. It's just too strong a pass rush, as it's been all game, and that's it. Well, it's a heartbreaker for the Huskies, but in a good way, if that makes sense. They played their hearts out tonight. Nothing to be ashamed of again. The entire Husky defensive unit, especially Pickering and Reno, the Big D's hat off to you guys. Awesome game. Final score from Memorial Stadium tonight, and for the whole cast of CPHS, Channel 6, this has been Derek Wark, the Big D. The final score, Grosse Pointe South Blue Devils 10, and your Port Huron Northern Huskies 7. Good luck, Huskies, next week. If you play like this, you'll get them.